All right, we got it on YouTube. Excellent.
All right.
Very cool.
From Ontario, Canada. Welcome, welcome.
Let me see if I can edit the title while it's going. Hey guys that are watching on YouTube, appreciate you checking out this stream. I did not I talked about the fact that this was happening, but I didn't mention that I was going to be able to push it through to YouTube. So welcome if you're watching from YouTube. That should work. We're just getting some things in the background sorted out, as we mentioned. If you're just coming in the room, give us a few minutes to let other folks sift in here. And if you have PentaHarps already, have all of them ready to go in case you have a question or want to try to play along with us. Try some simple scale work and a couple songs that we'll pull up. But great to be here with you. What's up, Nevin? Northern Ireland. A C minor PentaHarp, raring to go. Excellent. Hey, David, good to see you. Let's see what's going on the YouTube channel real quick, and then
And
we'll
just
get.
yeah, just to make sure everyone knows, there is the chat function, which many of you have already found. But if you do have a question, there's the question and answer button down at the bottom, so that way it doesn't get missed in the chat. So just go ahead and throw it in there. I'll be answering as much as I can as Ronnie's going through. We'll talk about the questions as well, as needed. But I could put in links for resources and things like that. So be sure to check that out. Got a bit of an echo. Is it coming from me?
I don't hear any echo on my end, uh, so I can't answer. I guess it is.
It probably is then. Okay.
Is it just your on your end for your voice, or is it?
No, I just saw it in the chat. Somebody said.
Oh, they're hearing an echo on your voice. I see.
Oh, but now a lot of people are saying no echo. So
Okay.
maybe mute something on your end if you're getting an echo. Not sure what that might be.
All right, folks, we're really close. I'm just putting a quick update in the YouTube stream. What I'm going to do, if you're watching this on YouTube, I would recommend that you check the comment section where the live comments are coming up. You'll find a link to join us inside of the actual webinar Zoom room. And the reason that matters is because if you have a question, it might get missed on YouTube. I see people tuning in. Curious, which one do you think is better? Okay, so we'll get into some of that. Again, if I miss that, post it again. Zach, let me know. Just repost it if I miss it. But I think it's time to kick this off. What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Welcome, everybody, to the monthly PentaHarp Tips and Tools Meetup. I am Drew Lewis. I'm the product manager or brand manager here in the US for Hohner Harmonicas. You know Ronnie, you love him. Ronnie is clinician, teacher, performer, all around fantastic individual. I'm happy to have him here. He was a part of the PentaHarp, experiment from the very beginning. I think you were the first person that we showed it to. And like most harmonica players, hated it right away, and then came to find a good purpose for it, and found so many things that we never intended it to be. We to be completely honest, we thought this was going to be a one-trick pony, just playing in first position, playing that minor pentatonic scale. But the fact is that we were pleasantly surprised. We've had those happy accidents. This is very exciting. So welcome. I'm going to turn it over to Ronnie. We're going to go through, if you have been here before in the last one, so this is our second. If you have been here before, we're going to have some repetition just for the newcomers to show what the harp is all about, and then go into some of the new things that we've discovered and songs that we can play along with.
Yeah, thanks, Drew. It's a pleasure to be here with you as always. For those that don't know me, if you're joining and we haven't met, again, my name's Ronnie Shellist. I run a website called harmonica123.com, and basically I'm focused around blues harmonica education. You can always contact me there with any follow-up questions or to learn more about what I do outside of the PentaHarp here. But today we're focused on the PentaHarp. And like Drew said, when I got this thing in my hands, for the first time, it was like, what? It was very disorienting as a harmonica player already used to these Richter tuned harmonicas, the standard tuning that we would find on a 10 hole. But over time, it became more comfortable to move around as I simplified the process, which is how we're going to start today, by really understanding what's already available in first position, which means that you'll be playing the harmonica in the key that it's tuned. They're all minor tuned harmonicas. So if you see a C, you're in C minor. If you're in F, you're in F minor, etc. Today I have a C, an A minor. I got the F minor, C minor, A minor. So those three keys. And we'll talk about a lot, but I thought it'd be smart to ask a couple questions of the group before we go too deep. If you're on YouTube watching, you can simply use the comment section. How many people here, let's start with this question, or have a PentaHarp in their possession at the moment? Use the raise your hand feature at the bottom. Let us know how many people already have one. So again, if you'll use the raise your hand icon, that's helping me out. Okay, this is interesting. So there's the bulk of you, almost more than half of you, yeah. 60% of you do not have one. Don't think that this is still going to be very useful, I think, for you making the decision as to, is it the right fit for you? The original thought with the PentaHarp was guitar players in mind. As a guitar player, good luck figuring, not that you can't figure it out. Guitar players have figured out how to play a standard Richter-tuned harmonica, but boy, is it cuckoo. It's nuts. As you move from register to register, the notes lay out differently. And the big tip to start with is that that's not the case on the PentaHarp. It repeats exactly in the same order and fashion from register to register. Second question for the group real quick. How many people here are using the PentaHarp as their first real go at trying to learn to play harmonica? Use that raise your hand feature. Like you're intending on, like, this is the one where I'm going to try to figure out how to play harmonica. I have very little or no experience on a standard harmonica. So 4 of you, just a few. Okay, excellent. That's helpful. So let's start with this. So let's give you some, for those, how many guitar players are in this room right now? Only guitar players. You're not a harmonica player. You're here as a guitar player going, I hope I can learn something. Good, there's a handful. So I'll give you a few tips, beginners. Most of you might experiment in a rack as you play guitar, and the rack would hold the harmonica and you can move around. But if you are going to hold it, try holding it in your left hand with the pointer finger and your thumb, just like that. And let this relax. The most important thing you really need to get down is how to get a single note. So let me just show you. If you are going to hold a harmonica, some people hold it like this. Let me see if I can get a better look at my camera. And what happens is it's in the way of where your mouth goes. So when you try to get a single note, I'm trying to pucker. Making this shape is how beginners often try to get a single note. I want you to just let your finger relax and kind of curl up a little bit, and that makes room for the lips to go over the comb. Now you're going to have a great chance at getting one note. Why do we need this single note? Because you're not going to be playing any form of melody playing without a clean single note. We want to be able to execute that first. So if your first assignment, your homework is to figure out, newbies, how can I get one note consistently? And what I'll give you one other tip is that when you pucker the harmonica, it's the soft part, the inner part of the lip, that should be making contact with the cover plates, these metal, bottom and top. So that's a big thing to just try to experiment. If you have a harmonica, even if it's not a PentaHarp, just see if you can get one note. And from there, you're going to be able to intuit the rest of this instrument. It's so easy to play. So, what is the pentaharp? This is a great segue to sort of, if you can get one single note, you're in great shape, beginners, because as I mentioned, from holes 1 to 4, 4 to 7, and 7 to 10, this pattern that I'm about to outline is just repeated without having to change anything. What they've done is they've put in the blues scale, and both really, hence the name pentaharp, a pentatonic, minor pentatonic scale that you can play. So I'm gonna demonstrate that just by blowing, and if I say draw, that means breathe in, and breathing in on each hole, moving left to right. That's it. Out and in. Let's do it on a C. I think more people are gonna have a C potentially. C minor. This is actually a blues scale, what I'm going to play. Blow, draw, and then just keep repeating that. You can stop at that 4 blow. Maybe for some of you it sounds like this right now. But you'll get there as you tighten up that embouchure for single notes. All right. The pentatonic scale, just avoid 2 draw, 5 draw, or 8 draw, and you will automatically play the minor pentatonic. From 2 blow to 3 blow. Makes sense, everybody? Let me call this out. 1 blow, 1 draw, 2 blow, 3 blow, 3 draw, 4 blow gives you a minor pentatonic. But if you want the blues scale, bring in the blue note, the 2 draw. Either way, it's very forgiving. There's not going to be a problem whether you eliminate that 2 draw or 5 draw or 8 draw or leave it in. It's going to sound fine as the blues scale over all these wonderful classic rock songs. I think the original intention is twofold. Like, I think the biggest way we can utilize this as a guitar player, I'm saying first, is creating color and texture in your music with long notes or simple short phrases and melody lines, which I'll demonstrate today, or really trying to play some of these classic melodies we were talking about, Sunshine of Your Love, Smoke on the Water, all these great lines. You no longer have to contend with bending to get these notes. That's a way more advanced approach to get that same minor pentatonic or blues scale in third position as it lays out on a Richter tune. So again, it's just first position. And it's really neat. What did you call them? Power chords? We've got power chords.
Yep.
Those are really sweet sound. Again, maybe potentially more for coloring and just rhythmic comping of some sort that you can work on.
Well, so the power chords are across the top, all below. So try to do the octave, but use that octave split. So it's 1, block hole 2, play 3 and 4.
Oh. So not just blowing all the notes on the chord.
Right.
Okay. That's more advanced.
So you get you get 1, 5, and the octave that way.
Got you. All right. Yeah. So it's a smaller portion of what you should worry about perhaps at this point, but it is available. What else is available before we kind of like demo and talk about what you can do to practice and get into using this harp? I think, again, in the simplest way possible at first, so you can get a feel for how the notes lay out. Let me tell you what's available for the harmonica players here, because there are a lot of harmonica players. I already told you about the tuning. I told you that the pattern replicates from all 3 registers. But what I didn't say is that your octaves or splits, as some people call them, really we're talking octaves specifically, not just a split. Splits are not always octaves. that the 2-hole cover, the tip of the tongue covering holes 2 and 3, just like you do on a standard harmonica, 1/4 draw, 1/4 blow, that doesn't have to change the entire way up the harmonica. That's not the case at all on a standard harp. Doesn't do anything like that. We have to adjust and do special embouchure technique. It's very advanced to be able to do what I just played here on a... It doesn't lay out that way. So it's very friendly for octave playing up and down. Only 2 holes are needed to cover blow and draw. That's a good piece of information to let that sink in. Octaves are beautiful for coloring these long... You just take the tip of your tongue, cover 2 holes at a time. Again, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, and just try moving. This is the shape. Looks weird, but this is what it looks like. And the tip of the tongue goes straight ahead. Another thing that I discovered early on, before enough people had their hands on it, and I called Drew like a little kid. Remember that? I was like, Drew. You're like, what, Ronnie?
That one time you called me like a little kid?
I get excited about this stuff.
Yes.
It was probably a Sunday morning, who knows, at 7 a.m. Today I texted you at like 8 a.m. Not very thoughtful of me. But I realized quickly that the harmonica had a plethora of bending available beyond the bottom. On a standard harmonica, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, a micro bend on 5, and a 6, which give you anywhere from a half step to a step and a half bending potential. Then on the upper register, it's blow bending, different technique, different location. It's totally different. On this harmonica, you only need to focus on bending for draw bending or overblowing on the blow notes we can talk about later. But draw bending is available on 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, and 10 draw. And it's the exact same amount of bends that are available for each one of those holes I called out. This should simplify it. The 2, 5, and 8 draw bend, but it's only these microtonal bends closer to a quarter step, let's say. So again, on 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, and 10, we can bend down up to a full step. Moving to 3 draw. You got all these sweet bends, again, all the way up. We've never had that as a harmonica player that if you've been playing. Well, we never had all these cool draw bends available. And when I found them, I was like, I may not know what to do with them yet, but they're all there. And the fact that every hole is capable with a little bit of setup work of overblowing, this could be the most basic instrument in the world to play or an extremely advanced position playing jazz diatonic harmonica, which I think is going to be a sweet thing to discover down the road as more and more advanced players get them in their hands, playing them in first position and primarily a 10th position. As the Harp Guru app has pointed out, if you don't know that, you can look for the Harp Guru, basically showing you position work and note layout of multiple tunings of all different kinds of harmonicas. That it does have potential beyond first and 10th position. Maybe it was 7th. I can't remember all the positions he found where it seemed very logical that you might be able to play some nice melody work. Drew, does that ring a bell to you as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We do have a couple questions in the Q&A.
Okay.
So first, asking about the A minor harp. What songs can I play on an A minor pentaharp? I can't find anything on YouTube. Now, and keep in mind, this is a very new instrument, so there's not a lot of content already generated for the pentaharp out there yet. So it is coming. The rest of the world hasn't gotten it, mainly the USA. But as far as what songs can you play, the good news is, you can transfer just the note layout to any key. So if you have a classic rock sort of song that you like or a blues song that you like, it transposes just as easy. So if you only have one key, you could still play those songs, maybe not in the key that it's supposed to be in, though.
Right.
So there is that. I'm going to put a link into the chat function here about the 10 songs that you can play right away. We made a chart, the top 10 guitar riffs. We have a lot of fun. We have a tab generator on the website. So if you are a guitar player and you want to go ahead and take the things that on the fingerboard and transfer them over into the harp and get some tablature to lay out on the harmonica, you can do that on the PentaHarp on pentaharp.com. But here I'm going to put in that chart. But yeah, anything, if you have the key of A, anything that's in the key of A minor. So tons of classic rock tunes. Of course, I'm going to blank on every single one of them right now. But yeah, anything that you can find in A minor, or what's the relative major on that?
I'm going to bring up some charts for everybody to
there you
look
go.
at. I'm going to bring up the website. And that's a good segue to talk about. Here, let me pull up the website that I got. Okay, you guys see the website now. All right, so pentaharp.com is the place you want to head for just the resource on the harmonica. As Drew mentioned, guitar players are going to be able to transpose. There's an area where you can type in some simple tablature, and it shows you where it would lay out on the PentaHarp. But we've got songs here. There's a PDF of tunes that you can find, 10 songs to get you started, tab generator, all that's here. And what these relative major, the idea is that the relative major is really simple. I'm going to pull up the scale work here in just a sec. But once you've looked at the circle of fifths, which is a chart, and you find your minor key, each minor key has a relative major, try playing it in that key. It's that simple. So if you're on an A minor PentaHarp, that's going to be C major versus E flat major, let's say on a C minor PentaHarp, if I'm doing my math right. And it's just really nice. It allows you to express beyond just the minor. You get that relative major. So let's maybe, and I've got a song here. You see, I pulled up work song, which I'll do that later. Let's actually stop the share, but go to pentaharp.com. Let me show you. I didn't type out the actual minor pentatonic because it's literally breathe out, breathe in, and then go to the next hole, breathe out, breathe in, and just practice your out, in, all the way up. That's your minor pentatonic and blues scale. But what I do want to share with you is the following. Let's look at this. We said that on an A, it's C major. Okay? It puts you in 10th position. Don't let it scare you. It scared me. I have never played 10th position until I got the PentaHarp. Look what the PentaHarp did for me. It allowed me to play in positions. I've been playing harmonica for over 25 years. And it allowed me to do something I'd never done. And it was very easy to do. On a standard harmonica, this would have been something I never would have endeavored. I never would have gone and tried to figure out. So for those that have a C, I'll do it on a C and an A, I think, just to give a chance for those that have these keys to play it with me. Let's do that relative major in 10th. So you're playing on in C major on an A. Let's start with the A harp. That's what I've written up there. So let's just start with that, actually. Sounds like this. Let me take my pointer. And lo and behold, as we said, whatever the pattern creates visually, it's the identical pattern in the next register. And it's beautiful. So it's something that I've never had done before. And if you're a guitar player thinking, what's the best way to get the most mileage out of this? The number 1 and 2 ways in my mind are the built-in first position minor scale that you have just coloring and in and out and just experimenting, trying to find simple melody or lines. But then this relative major is very nifty. That it's just easy to accommodate. There's no bending needed. Bending's when we flat the note and have to change tongue position to accommodate and do that. So if you were on the C PentaHarp, that would put you in E flat major, and it would sound the same. You follow the same notes. Sorry, missed that last part, but you see how it's all right there for you. So should I demo a little touch of this, Drew, maybe?
Absolutely. Go for it.
Let's see if I can find my playlist here. So here's the A PentaHarp. This is just some happy music. We're in C major on an A PentaHarp. Uh-oh. Let's just play it together. If you have an A PentaHarp. Is that coming through okay?
Yep. We're good.
Very simple. And I actually think that's the style. And when I hear, like, if a singer-songwriter was playing in major, that would be so easy to learn this pattern. And just, until you get the single notes, just keep it simple. So just pay attention to the scale notes and live on some of these scale notes. If you want this sheet and you want me to send it to you, send me an email at info@harmonica123.com, and I'll send you these simple scales that we have out today. All right, so that was real soft and happy. Wow, that was. Let me just see one other thing. C major, E flat major. Last thing. Is this? This is a little better. I feel like it's very singer-songwriter on a C harp. A major. Anybody could do that, right, Drew? Anybody
Absolutely.
Anybody's got that.
You know, that's the thing. You know, if you're not comfortable with the harmonica yet, you don't have to go fast and do all these fancy things. I mean, if you just want some ambiance, you want some more coloring to your music, just go slow. Sit on those notes. Give it. You know, he gave it a little vibrato there. It doesn't have to be sterile. It doesn't have to be clinical, as I saw in a comment earlier. There is expression, with the instrument.
So let's say that you have the ability to bend a little bit. Bring the bending into the scale work forget what you see up here for just a moment, okay? Like, think about this. If you just blow draw, you can still bring in the bends underneath. You can use that bend to introduce the draw note you're about to play. It'll work as a nice embellishment note. So it doesn't have to be stale at all. And as you're going to see me demo in a minute on first position work song, this jazz melody, there's room. And actually, if you listen to the melody, there's inflections of these quarter tone bends, and you can still do things, everybody, like warble. Side to side with that, on any two adjacent holes. So we can bring in other expression outside of just single notes. To be very clear, hand. Maybe you're just starting with harmonica and you're in an acoustic duo and you're going to play acoustically. Yeah, use your hands. Get into, if you're new to harmonica, shaping your sound with that right hand. Sometimes, bring it in to change it. But I want to back up to let's see if I missed any other questions coming by in YouTube. Somebody asked, what's my favorite Special 20, which this is based after. It's based on the construction of like a Special 20. What's my favorite? I don't really compare those because they're just totally different tunings. So I like them equally because essentially the guts or the construction is identical. The main difference is the tuning. So it's just different. I mean, at this point, I'm using these at my gigs out there and sparingly, but I find them to be really useful. But yeah, I like them both. So there was one other question in that comment section. I just want to see if I can catch that. Special 20s, Richter tuning, PentaHarps, Pentatonic minor, both have the same quality combs. There you go. That's the way to say it. It's not available in the UK yet, but I would say when, Drew, should they be looking for that?
So January 2022, that's when Hohner Germany is going to be shipping to all markets. So probably towards the end of January, you should start seeing it at your local retailers. I know like the Harmonica company in the UK, they're a great bunch of guys. I'm sure they'll have it sooner rather than later. So just check your local retailer, but it'll be towards the end of January probably.
And A blues and C major and a minor with minimal bending. That's right, Fred. Find the slip across notes so easy to give an almost gapless tone. If anyone understands that description, I think I do.
Got a couple questions in there too. You might want to.
Winslow played it in 10th. I got the C PentaHarp to start with. Okay, where am I missing? Let's see. C PentaHarp is on Bauer, Special 20 or PentaHarp. We see that.
No, in the Q&A. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just
where we asked
through
to
the
go?
chat. I'm going through the chat box first. All right. If you're playing 12-bar blues in A, what PentaHarp key would you use? You could go ahead and just try the A PentaHarp. You can always play your minor stuff over minor or major. That's important to keep in mind. Like Drew pointed out last time, these classic rock songs are often in major, but the solos are in minor scale. They're soloing over in the minor. So just start with that, the key it's in, Frankie, to answer your question. But you could also try 10th position if you want and find, I've got a chart if you want to email me for that too, that shows you how to figure out all of the positions, because I am going to demo that 10th position as well. Can you explain why the 2-draw has to be played more gently? Okay, Betty, that's a good question. And I kind of agree with you. So we talked about the fact that the 2-draw, the 5-draw, and the 8-draw don't move down past that microtonal bend. So if you attack it hard, you're flatting the note unintentionally. And so you figured it out. What you need to do is just be a little more gentle on that. Instead of maybe using the tongue, just try diaphragmatic breathing, which is how we should be breathing anyway for all of our harmonica playing. It will cooperate if you adjust a little bit to the note. The 5 and the 8 aren't quite as sensitive because the reeds, this is my guess, the reeds are smaller. There's less for the room for that reed to sort of quick response, maybe like a. I'm not sure why, but they're not as finicky. So don't worry about 5-draw, 8-draw, but the 2, yeah. I'm not having any issues, just to be very clear. I've never been like, gosh, that 2 won't. It's not coming up for me. It's a slight subconscious adjustment, but it's very minimal. Just take your time. Like any instrument, when you're learning to play guitar or saxophone, I would imagine, there's sensitivities to each part in the range of the instrument, like blow bending on a Richter tune, how you have to adjust your airflow, etc. All right. Any other questions? It looks like you got them all.
Yep.
They're gone. what's in the chat here. Can we hear some overblows or chromatic scale? Sure, the overblows are going to be, like even on a low F, are easy on the high end. If you're really going to use this for overblowing, you're going to want to, like any harmonica, probably have the harmonica gapped or set up by somebody who has experience with tightening the gapping a little bit, because otherwise the overblows will be, like anywhere on any harmonica, are very challenging. So that's a low F. Hold on. I don't have a chromatic scale worked out for you, but it's all there because we have the availability of all the notes. It's possible. Again, I don't have these set up for overblowing, so I wouldn't want to try to figure it out at this moment. But that's a very fair question. If you're going to use this in that manner, it's right there. Get the harp set up a little bit, and you'll be in great shape. I think the best position, let's say, or scale work, is the blues scale in 10th position for coaxing out. People have been kind of alluding to this emotional side, or I don't want it to be too sterile. So there's partially some chromatic movement going on here, because you're getting that portion where we have all the notes in the blues scale. We're not missing any notes. And we don't need overblowing to do that part in that portion of the harmonica. Okay, great. So somebody linked in the video, in the chat box, the MCCD sessions. I use that a lot for my videos on YouTube. And they have some just great tracks in the style of blues. All right. Yeah, the overblows are there. I have been playing them for at least 4 weeks or so at my gigs. I really love them. They work well against a swing groove, very melodic. Let me show you guys something. Through pedals, they work well. That's great to hear. Awesome. If you back to first position, because that's really how a lot of people are going to approach this. If you had something like this, and just hold these notes on a C harmonica, it's in C minor. Just blow and draw anywhere, but hold something. You can't, there's no wrong, there's no bad notes. So when you approach playing first position, slow down and just hold some ideas for a minute and let the chords change. That's my suggestion. Don't try to chase chords and change every change they're doing. The note's going to apply to all the chords. They're just scale notes, right? So, and we're not trying to bend or anything. So I would say just really, you can hear how nice it sounds if you weren't soloing, but they were singing and you weren't trying to do fills. You were just trying to add some texture, especially the bottom. Yeah, I think it's going to be great for this type of work. You'll find the application. And what's great is that guitarist, you're already musical. You can hear the ideas you might want to find, play it on the guitar, find it on the PentaHarp type of thing.
And don't forget to go to the tab generator if you know what you want to do on the guitar and you want those notes on the harmonica. Go to pentaharp.com. We have a tab generator where you can actually plug in all those notes on the fingerboard and find them on the PentaHarp, which is super cool. It was a lot of fun.
Yes, yeah. I'm going to share something different. I'm going to share. I'll come back to the 10th position before the day's over. I know time's flying, But what I want to do is demo the work song in first position, and to show you that you can go from just these ethereal, just long notes and, atmospheric kind of coloring to when I learned this last week or the week before, I ear trained it for about 20 minutes and then just wrote out the notes. They were all there. Didn't need to add any bending or overblowing, which was quite a shocker. I just need to open the work song. Here we go. Here, and I'll send you this. If you email me at info@harmonica123.com, I am happy to. Sorry for the mess on my desktop. But yeah, let's blow this up a little bit. Y'all see that okay at this point? This is just a blow note. I do have to do it on F. It's an F minor, so I'm using the low F PentaHarp. The little negative sign is a draw note. That's all you need to know. Don't worry about the squiggly stuff. That's reminding me that I'm microtonally bending in and out quickly, if you want to know what that means, because these portions happen very fast. If I play this for you now, and I play it on... if I played it in the original tempo, it would be like, dang it, man. Like, what are you doing to us? You're killing. How am I going to learn this? But you can find a backing track for the work song. Nat Adderley is the artist, the composer. And it's a little bit slower than the original. But you could just find... Let me just type it in real quick. Work song, Nat Adderley. Let's just hear it. Here's the song, just for a sec. That's the head, and it repeats. Let me just slow it down. I don't need to sit here and blast you with my version of work song. Let me just play a line. If you have I could use another key, but you agree, Drew? Let's just play a couple of these lines. I'm happy to just play it once through, though. It sounds like this. It's all there. It's so cool to be able to do that. But if you just slow down on like a PentaHarp, I think that's probably the most common, actually. Now that I think about it, most folks have an A. I will do it once. I think y'all need to hear what it sounds like coming out. That's the original. Here it is on a low F. Just blast you one time with it. That's it. And it lays out great. And what's cool is that if you were going to solo on first position, to be really clear, it's so intuitive. Like, I was just playing around in the solo section with this earlier and just draw and blow. And no matter what I did, it sounded great. So the work song, there's something to reach for in first position. You don't have to have the F minor. You can do it and like get a backing track. You can use Audacity, I think, and change the key, right? And the tempo.
I believe so. Yep.
So why not do that and make it work for the key that you have, slow it down to the tempo you need. So here's what's great, to just recap a couple highlights for me. You got first position as basic as you want to make it. The scale's built in for you, or as prolific as some jazz standards. You've got 10th position. I didn't share that, so I will do that quickly before today's over. Is there a question while I'm doing that and bringing that up?
No, we're good.
Okay.
I'm answering. Yeah.
Excellent. Let me see if I still have that up. Okay, I'm going to bring this up. Last thing we're going to kind of think about today, perhaps, unless questions come in. But, all right, there they are. This 10th position stuff, if you have an A pentaharp, it's just a blues scale, minor blues scale. These are draw notes. Full step bend. So for those that are bending, holy cow, when you learn this, you're going to be addicted to playing 10th position on on any pentaharp, I should say. And this stuff is killer. This is just, I almost prefer this in some ways to third position, which I love utilizing on a Richter tune because it just sounds so good. It has a way of, the tonal phrasing on the bottom of this harp sounds good. Here's a pentaharp in C. That puts me in E flat minor, just FYI. Or on your A pentaharp in C minor for 10th position. Use the circle of fifths to determine this. Some blues. I mean, this is just some blues, but... Pretty great for blues. You can't deny that this is a great substitute for specifically third position. So those who know position work and understand just a tiny, it's not much theory, just that there's a minor blues scale you can play. Here it is on a pentaharp. It just happens to be called 10th position. Don't let that throw you. All right. Any other questions that I've missed? Somebody asked about chordal possibilities. I don't know I don't think there's an abundance of chordal opportunities, not rhythmically speaking, like on a Richter tuned harmonica, Steve. More for coloring. To me, it has a very, I don't know what that reminds me of. If I knew, I'd say it, but synth or some sort of different kind of quality that would be best suited for more coloring, I'd say. It definitely has an organ quality to it, though, or synth or something like that.
If you want to chord out when the vampire's walking into the room, that's the go to the pentaharp.
The St. James Infirmary is best suited. Well, not best, but it's very easy if you can bend a note for the person asking in 10th. Because you can take advantage of the bends. beatbox tunes. What key? What do you think?
Well, I don't know about what key, but I was thinking, we should see probably more of an influx of beatboxers playing the harp, because it's not only, a chordal aspect that most beatboxers I've really seen that have, used the harmonica, but now you could really get a quick, easy, a progressive solo with melodies coming out of it. So I think we probably will see some more players adopt it. We just need that first guy, that first player to come in and do it and show everyone else that it can be done. And then, people jump on. So yeah, I can't wait to see what happens there.
Yeah, I totally agree. By the way, to the question on YouTube, um, I did cover the available bends, so just watch the playback when it'll it takes an hour or two sometimes, but eventually this live feed you're watching will pop up as a recording. So for those wondering that are inside of Zoom today, could I catch the recording? You go to youtube.com/Ronnie Shellist and you subscribe to the channel, and then you'll see that my video will be there in the next, by later tonight or tomorrow morning. So boy, thanks to the individual who sent me a tip through YouTube. That was very generous of you. Appreciate that. So the questions are covered in YouTube, and I think we've covered most of the things here. This was it's a lot to throw out there in an hour. So again, you can go back and watch the recording. Let me just check if there's nothing else that I wanted to mention.
Hey, one more thing. You should probably throw out your link,
Oh, thanks, buddy. I'm going to put a link. I'll update the YouTube video later in the video description with this link, but it's my preferred place to purchase the PentaHarp. And that's because it does support me a little bit. So let me grab that link.
Yeah, so you guys are aware, this is a platform that's really out there supporting teachers. So teachers can provide an affiliate link to different retailers, and the teachers get a bit of a kickback to it. So if you like Ronnie, you're going to be buying this, you're not subscribed to anything, but you want to buy the harp, click on the link, buy it through that link, and he gets a little kickback on that. This is it was definitely a really cool thing that we are very proud to be. Lesson Squad is the name of the company that does it. We're KHS America. That's the parent company here in the US, the distribution company. We partner with that through all our different brands. So definitely a very cool thing.
And for those watching on YouTube, it's lessonsquad.com / or / I guess, Ronnie-Shellist. That's how you get to that page. And you scroll down and look for the PentaHarp. You'll have two options to use. Guitar Center, Sweetwater, I think, are the options. And again, it just helps support me a little bit. It's an affiliate link. Of course, if you're not finding what you need and you can find it elsewhere, by all means, get it where you can and keep checking back, as it's a very popular harmonica. As Drew has alluded to, the stock is fluctuating and certain keys are available, some are not, but they're going to come back around. And down the road, there will be other keys outside of what was first introduced.
Yep.
So that's exciting. And you can look for us, at least for the moment, we'll say indefinitely for this year next year, indefinitely until we notify you otherwise, once a month, usually around the middle of the month at 11 a.m. Central. I'll be advertising it on my social media channels. And if you happen to find this somewhere random, just go to harmonica123.com and subscribe to my newsletter on the homepage, and you'll get notified of these webinars and other events that I do online.
Oh, speaking of the IBCs next month.
Ooh. So this is, Drew and I are headed, you won't be there, right? Possibly it could be
maybe not. Yeah, it might be somebody else here, but definitely Ronnie.
Yeah, we're going to go down to the IBCs for two different events. The main one we're talking about is the Roadshow, the Hohner Roadshow. And there will be two of them on Friday, one at 11 a.m. and the other at 2 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Central, down in Memphis, Tennessee, at a place called A Schwab's. And this is just a, whatever you want to call this funky store, has everything.
Yeah, it's it's our harmonica clinic, harmonica roadshow. Going to be done at A Schwab's. They're a retailer right on Beale Street, which is super cool. If you don't know what the IBCs are, that's the International Blues Competition. If you are a fan of the blues and you can make the trip, go down
Yeah,
to the IBCs in the middle what's it's the second week of January of
January.
yeah. Um, man, it is nonstop. It is a full week of sessions and gigs, and they're actually competing. There's a huge award ceremony at the end. It is super super cool. But yeah, definitely check it out. The first 100 people to walk through the door get a Hohner harmonica free. It's not a PentaHarp. I wish we could make that happen, but we will actually be talking about the PentaHarp as well during the promotion, so or during the clinic. So,
Yeah.
um, can Hohner please do a UK road show sometime? I'd love to, but I am relegated to living in the USA, and they don't send us out to other markets. But yeah, definitely. You had mentioned in the chat or the question and answer. Hit up Sutherland Trading. Tell them you want a road show. Tell them where you're at, because they handle all the marketing for the UK. So
Yeah, the online stuff is always available to you guys. Obviously, you're here today. You found this, but please do us a favor. Drop a message to me at harmonica123.com through the contact page. Find maybe Drew on social media, or I don't know how else, if there's a decent way to connect. But send it to me. Give me some feedback. If there's other things you really want to get into or that you'd like to see for the next webinar, or if you just have any general comments or feedback at all, you can leave them for me. I'm very open to hearing your thoughts. We appreciate all you guys tuning in live that did show up today, and we look forward to the next one. We see one
awesome.
more one
Yep.
more question. Do the PentaHarp available in the future in other styles like the Golden Melody?
I was just responding to that, but yeah, it's not going to be anytime soon. And the next generation would probably be going up into the Rocket. But yeah, definitely for 2022, the only thing that we're going to be able to focus on is getting the rest of the world pentaharps. I mean, that's first and foremost, since the US has been the only one to be able to get it for the first 3 months of the launch.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's going to get it, coming in January. But maybe and hopefully towards the end of 2022, we're going to have more keys available. We want to have all 12 minor keys, and maybe even start to delve into the low tunes as well. But that is possibility. So 2022, 2023 before all that happens. So yeah.
Awesome. A full set would be awesome. Okay, well, we hope to see you next time. Help us spread the word. Last thing, if you enjoyed today and you learned something, share the link that you used. It'll always be the same link to get into the webinar. Share that link wherever you want, on your favorite social media group, with your friends, email list, whatever you got. We would really appreciate it, and we hope to see you soon.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.